Ho, ho, ho. Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, there's just 65 days until Christmas 2020. I'm late getting started this morning. We had our annual HVAC checkup before it gets really bad here. And the furnace is good. Everything's great to go. So we're all set to talk about this Mandalorian trailer, or as some people have accurately pointed out, it's just the preview, right? So not necessarily a new trailer. It was another exclusive look into, is I think how they couched it. But, you know, everybody understood that to be a trailer. I think that's what we were expecting. And I think that's why we see a lot of folks kind of upset today. We know Josh did a nerd ranted for a bit, got that out of his system. He feels better now, I'm sure. So we're going to now just gear up for the season to start. We know it's just 10 days away, and we'll get into episode 9, season 2, episode 1, chapter 9 of the story of the Mandalorian and the child. So the trailer released last night. We'll call it a trailer. That's what everybody understands it to be. And there are a few things that I picked out of there. And I know Josh was really critical this morning that what was shared wasn't, worth the effort. But I take some issue with that. I think there was some good stuff in there. So I would like to dig into it. And I think partially what we're going to do today is get into some stuff that maybe not everybody knows as well. And it'll put some context to things just so that we know that Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, they kind of go into these, they dive deep into some of these little known characters or locations, and they have made a show out of it. And so if you're just coming along, you follow the movies, the TV shows, you may not be aware of some of these things because they're taken from obscure or small little pieces out of other things. Good morning, Mark. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I feel led down the garden path with that Monday Night Football exclusive look. Yeah, I think all of us were a little underwhelmed, to say the least, right? So I wouldn't say that I'm upset or angry. I'm underwhelmed. I'm like, oh, was that it? Now, I will say that I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson with this before, and I did not tune into Monday Night Football to catch that trailer. I just waited for my Twitter to explode, and the moment my Twitter feed started blowing up, I went out and watched the trailer on YouTube. So, and Mark, you hit me up last night too. You're like, was this on ESPN? How do we find it? And we found it on YouTube right away, able to dig into that. And I think we found some stuff worth talking about. And I want to just start with the trailer itself. Let me come in here. And I'm not going to do a react video. There's been plenty of that. And by this time, I expect everybody has seen what they expect out of it. And I wanted to go back to that first trailer we had, because I think there's a sequence of events here that maybe aren't clear to everybody. The first one that we saw in the very first trailer was the Razor Crest coming in kind of hot, right? So it's coming in. It's been damaged. It's a little listless in space. And I want to point out again, this cargo door on the back is open. It's kind of listless in space. The cargo door is open as it's going along. You can see it here, right? It's kind of listless. The engine's sparking. Notice the engines are on, but they're sparking. And then I want to show you this next piece here, and I went purposely to the other little teaser that we got, and this is what we pointed out before, that this cargo appears to be open and it's coming into this snowy planet. Now, conventional wisdom says this is Hoth or it's Ilum, But there's been some other speculation, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, that maybe it's Sarka, the planet where the Sarkans come from. We talked about Sarkans last week. It could be Sarka. And there's some evidence that supports that. There's still evidence to support that it's Ilum. And I'm not going to, I think, land on either side of that. I think it could be either. But I just wanted to point out again that we see the Razor Crest coming in here. The cargo bay appears to be completely open. And as it's coming in, let me check that my playback speed's down. Yeah. So as it's coming in, we don't see any evidence of the sparking. But if we go to the latest special look, we see this appears to be where it's headed, into that crevasse, right? The crevasse. And as it gets down in there, it kind of bumping off of the walls of that crevasse, right? And as it comes in, belly lands, skids and slides. That was reminiscent to me of Solo when he did that move on purpose, but it's the same sort of belly slide. As it comes in there, and then we see it land in a little bit later. I think that's all one sequence of events. We see the Razor Crest damaged. It comes into that planet, and that planet then is where Belly lands. And there's another scene coming up. I'm going to kind of fast forward. There's been talks about these boots. Whose boots are they? So on and so forth. But I want to kind of go forward again just to finish the look that we had of this snowy area. So here we go. So here we see the Razor Crest. I believe this is the Razor Crest, right? It's damaged. And there was talk, was this one of the landers? Was this a Y-wing, an X-wing? What might it be? My speculation back then was that it was the Razor Crest. I think that it is the Razor Crest. We see it here, and there's reason to believe that. So we see it here in the snow. And the next scene, we get it being repaired. And you can see the extensive amount of damage that the Razor Crest has taken. I'll stop it here. And let me change that to theater mode. And then it goes to this scene where we see Din Djarin repairing the Razor Crest. All right, he's doing some work on it. And some attention is then come into this spider. So we want to stop just for a moment now and talk about the spider. So I think this is all one series of events. We'll talk about where is this in a moment. I think the spider is the first thing to talk about because it's a clue. This spider, there's some thought because of the size of it that it could be one of these guys from Rebels. If you've watched the Rebels animated series, there's a planet on there where the Bendu lives, and that planet is called Autolon. That planet has these giant spiders that are extremely tough. And these are the Krykna spiders. They're crawlers. And there's a whole thing about them there. But they come from this planet. Just a moment. Santa's phone is blowing up. We'll see what's going on. Anyway, that's those. Is this the same spider? And if they're the spiders from this planet of Autolon, they're very, very large, and they come from, again, Rebels. You'll see them in season 2 and season 3 of Rebels. Well, let's take a look at Autolon, and let's see if it kind of fits the match for where we see that spider on this snowy planet. Well, Autolon, again, from Rebels, you see from Wikipedia, is remote planet. There's a lot of information about it, but let's just go down, and it gives some information about its climate, right? Climate, hot. Terrain, wastelands, caverns. Now, this is the one that maybe is a cavern, but the climate is hot, and it has wastelands, caverns, and mesas. Personally, I don't think that that planet that we saw on the approach, remember from the very first trailer, is the Razor Crest is kind of listless, the engine's sparking, it's coming into that planet. That planet appears more blue. And so I think it's possible he's coming into this. That's the planet that he's going to land on, or a nearby one. We're led to believe it's that planet, but he lands on this planet that's very icy. So, Drew, yeah, I see you saying possibly close to an abandoned rebel base on Hoth. Hard to repair a ship with limited parts and such. Maybe the Force sent him to Hoth where he could repair his ship. But maybe, and it could also have just been, of good fortune that you're in some sort of attack that where you're disabled near Hoth and you land and there's plenty of supplies there where they abandoned that base. That's a good theory. But we don't know that on Hoth they had these great big old spiders. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. First of all, I was just ruling out the Krykna spider, right? So the Krykna spider, I don't think it's we're on Autolon. That would be where those spiders are from. Now, could Din have been transporting a spider? Possibly, but I think that's unlikely. I don't think the spider was in the Razor Crest and then it was ejected during the crash. I think more likely it was there and they ran into him. And yeah, Mark, you don't think it's a base, it's just a random cavern. I think so too, largely. And we'll talk about that again. So Autolon, again, if you watched Rebels, it's the home of the Bendu, and this is the Bendu guy. If you're not familiar with him, he's a great big looking dude. And again, it's worth watching Rebels to get more information about the Bendu, Autolon, and those great big spiders. It all fits together really, really well. Has quite a bit of significance in the story. But I'm going to rule out that it's that. I'm going to rule out that we're on Autolon. I'm going to rule out that we're in one of the caves where those spiders dwell. The next question, and Mark and I talked about this some yesterday in Discord. I think that it still could be Sarka. And let's take a look at what we know about Sarka, because we kind of speculated it could be Sarka before, because we saw the Sarkans in those trailers. If you look at the atmosphere, it's breathable. The primary terrain: caves, jungles, mountains, rivers, waterfalls. So this has a much more diverse ecosystem. We've got caves, jungles, rivers, waterfalls, mountains, the whole thing. Now, could there be snow and ice in mountains? Could there be snow and ice where you have this kind of terrain? I think so. Just because it's not listed as snowy, well, that's, I think, goes along with maybe being mountainous. Possibly could be Sarka. I think there's an argument to be made that we're perhaps on Sarka. The reason that we see the Sarkan in the cave is because we're on Sarka. And we talked about, if you're following Luke, Luke did go to Sarka on behalf of Leia when she was injured in the caves. And we go back and look, it appears that he is in a cave. We look at where the Razor Crest is kind of situated here. This appears to be a cave that he's kind of slid into. So I absolutely think that it could be Sarka. I think that it could be Hoth as well. Hoth is mountainous. Hoth had snow. And Drew, I don't disagree with you because I think that it would be quite fortuitous if there were an abandoned rebel base nearby where he could go get parts to help repair the ship. That would work out well. It also fits in with my and I keep calling it this, my tin hat theory that says perhaps he is following where Luke Skywalker had been seen during the events of the original trilogy, trying to get the child to one of his kind. And one of his kind would be a Jedi. the only known Jedi at the time, Return of the Jedi, is Luke Skywalker. So it would make sense that he's after Luke Skywalker and that we're following his trail. Now, there's another thing that's in this trailer that's worth mentioning is at one point he talks about he's repeating the information he got from the armorer, and he says, if I can find other Mandalorians, they can help me find these people. Well, we have information that, there's been lots of speculation, lots of rumors about Bo-Katan and Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren. Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren being in the series or involved in the story in one way. And we know there's been the information about the spinoff series with Cara Dune and Bo-Katan. And if he's looking for other Mandalorians, it's very possible that he finds them in the means of Bo-Katan and Sabine Wren. That's very, very possible. And so maybe he's on the footsteps of Luke Skywalker. Maybe he's on the footsteps of other Mandalorians, being Bo-Katan, Sabine Wren. Hey, Lunga, thank you for joining. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you being here. So so we have both of these theories. I don't think they're competing theories. They could very well be complementary theories that where he's on the path of a Jedi trying to find it. I think he's following any rumors of, Luke Skywalker was seen on Hoth. Luke Skywalker was seen on Sarka. Luke Skywalker was seen on, different places, and that's where we see these scenes coming from. Very well could be from those locations, and they could be. He could have already met, or also looking for other Mandalorians to help him in this journey as he's going place to place. So, but I think that we're still. I'm going to leave it in the air between: is this cave on Sarka, or is this cave on Hoth, or is it on Ilum? Ilum is the third possibility. I think is a very strong possibility, and we know Sarkhan's mined for jewels in caves. We know that Ilum is known for having kyber crystals, and perhaps Sarkhan, being that they are miner type people, would be interested in mining and exploring Ilum, perhaps even for the Empire, due to the position of Sarka within the Empire and the control that it had. So they could have brought in some Sarkhans there to help mine for these kyber crystals that they're going to use in weapons. So I think if I were to put an order on it between Sarka, Ilum, or Hoth, I'm going to put my thought that it's going to be Ilum. And the reason there being that it also then starts to tie into the events that we see in the video games and the sequels. Drew's reviews. Possibly Bo-Katan and Sabine are already on the same path, just ahead until they meet and work together. I love that idea, Drew. And I think that's very possible. And that we're going to finally get a meetup towards the end. We know everybody's looking at that November 27th episode, the one that Dave Filoni directed, as being the one where we're going to get a lot of these Rebels characters cross over into, and we'll see what happens there. And just a side note on that, this morning, Mark, great super chat with Josh asking if we're still being trolled, and Josh thinks that's the case, that he is lying, and that he is indeed playing Ezra Bridger, and that we're going to see that come to fruition later. I still don't think he is. And I saw Adam's show yesterday on Twitch, and we're in agreement. I don't think that he is going to play Ezra Bridger at all. So anyway, there we go. There's the first part of the kind of the clues that we get in this trailer. There's a couple other things that I want to bring up because there's some really good information. Drew, I just hope we're not being strung along a season finally cliffhanger to see these characters. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I do know that they want to do the spinoff, but I think we're liable to only see these Rebels crossover characters in the last few episodes at best, maybe just the one. So we'll see. Lunga, I did a whole stream on Rahul after that Coke tweet also. Yeah, I caught some of that as well. So any of you that aren't following the Grey Council, Darth Lunga does a show in the afternoon around 3 o'clock. He and Yellow does it. They host a show on the Grey Council. Just an observation about that show. The first hour or so is them rambling on about the guy with the concrete saw outside of Lunga's place, driving him crazy, and whatever might float their boats. So somewhere around 45 minutes to an hour in, they'll actually get to the main topic, and then you can catch what they're talking about. But it's a great show. I enjoy spending time with those guys. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to spend the afternoon, and the concrete saw outside your place, Lunga, it had me laughing out loud as you were dealing with that outside the window, and it was distracting you. It was fantastic. Jackhammers this morning. oh, Lunga, I can't wait till your show this afternoon. That's fantastic. I can't say I would be all that happy if it were me, but I can tell you, because it's you, I am absolutely entertained. I shouldn't be this happy. I can't wait. So anyhow, the trailer goes on. There's some more information in here that's worth taking a look at, and I wanted to talk about this. The scene we've seen of, here we go. We're going to jump ahead, and let me increase the size. And we saw some of this in one of the previous teasers, and I was watching Nerd Theory this morning, the replay from last night of Josh and Star Wars Theory, and they brought up, could this be Sullust? Well, I'm not a video game player, so this is again why I'm mentioning, like, today we're going to talk about some things maybe not everybody is really fully aware of. And I was like, Sullust, never heard of it. It's primarily in the video games, and because I'm not I don't play video games, I can't play them because of some addiction issues I have, video game addictions. I had to look it up, and Theory was absolutely convinced that this is absolutely Sullust, based on the guns that are present. Again, if you played the game, maybe you're familiar with it as well, and you think that it could be Sullust. And we see this troop transport go by, and we talked about this yesterday, right? This is absolutely a troop transport from that we saw in season 1, and it brings up there are two possibilities for this planet. I want to go just a little bit further because right here, whoa, stop. I'm going to go back again. There's lava. There's a lava creek that runs right through here. So as we go by and at 0.25 speed, you'll see this lava creek come up and it'll pass by. So just pay attention to that. So here it comes. There's the lava stream. See it right here? There's this stream of lava. That's a clue. So let's go take a look. Let's learn about Sullust. So again, Sullust primarily comes from the video games, and we'll see that in a moment. And when we look at the atmosphere, it's breathable. Climate is hot. primary terrain, volcanic molten surface. So it harkens back to, of course, where we go in the sequel trilogy, and for folks that have followed along, they know from the prequels as well. Vader's castle is on a volcanic planet as well. This isn't that same planet. This is there are two other planets that have this volcanic terrain that is notable. The first being Sullust here, and I think there's a strong argument to be made for Sullust because of the presence of the Imperials, and there's a whole story around it. Again, I don't like just to read off of Wikipedia, but you can read about it. You can see the Galactic Empire comes there. They end up basically forced work from folks, like forced labor, and it becomes a bit of a camp. And if you look at the picture here, let me just open this. Oh, that's not gonna. I need to open it in a new tab. Just 1 second. Let me do that again. Open this in a new tab. You can see the volcanic surface here from the video game, right? So this looks very much like what we saw before. You can see some water. You can see the lava that we saw in the earlier trailer, where that lava kind of spews up and there's steam going on. I think there's a very strong argument for this being Sullust, that where we saw that in the trailer, both the last teaser trailer and this one. The other argument is, and I saw it this morning in the chat on Den of Nerds, that it could be Navarro. And Navarro is where we keep seeing, where we saw in the end of season 1, where IG-11 is wading through the lava and detonates himself. And then there's a whole thing there when the Darksaber comes up. There's plenty of lava on Navarro as well. And that's been already featured in the Mandalorian. The other part about it is that not only is that already featured in the Mandalorian, but the as Drew brought up, it's a modified Imperial troop transport. We already saw that modified. We already saw an Imperial troop transport on Navarro when Moff Gideon had Mando, Cara, and Karga all trapped in that building. That troop transport was already there. So in this case, in the trailer, where we see this this modified troop transport here, right? So where we see this, it could be Navarro. I think the presence of the guns, the turrets, and all of that before lead a stronger credence to it being Sullust. Very well could be Sullust due to the Imperial presence, but it could be Navarro as well. So let me just I'll take your input here, get your thoughts. What do you think, Sullust or Navarro? Where we're looking at this little lava bed here, and I'll get caught up on the comments while you guys let me know what you think. You think that we're seeing this escape scene, this chase scene happen on Sullust or Navarro? Again, Sullust being the one primarily in video games, Navarro being the one that we've seen in the Mandalorian season 1. So here we go. Anthony Manzano, hello, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Drew's review. The blue guy from the first episode, right? That's the Mithril. He is him in the transport. I think so too. I think they went. The puck for that Mithril was probably issued by some imperialist types. Or remember, this is after Return of the Jedi, after the second Death Star has been destroyed and the New Republic is up. So you can't really call it the Empire, but the imperialists, right? There are people who are still kind of dedicated to that idea. So I think those may have been the ones that had the puck out on him, and we have a bit of a prison break here, so that they unfroze him from the carbonite, or he may have already been unfrozen from carbonite, and he has some information they need, that they need to free him, get him out so that they can use him to get the information or get the information from him, to lead him on the next stage of the journey. So yeah, I think that's him. Let's see. Drew's reviews. It's good writing device where the protagonist questions his own ways and changes for the greater good. Maybe uses them as a guide. Yeah, I'm with you. Mark Hamilton. Makes sense that it's Sullust. So it's on Navarro. If it's on Navarro, wouldn't Karga and Kara be wanted by the imps? But when Mando meets them, they're just hanging out. Yeah, it's. I lean towards Sullust, but I can't rule out Navarro, right? I just don't know. Hey, Trinity, welcome. Glad to have you here. Appreciate the support, my friend. Great to see you. Thanks again. Mark, your vote is for Sullust. Let's see. Park Outdoors, Sullust. Great counsel. Here we go. The Mithril, Horatio Sands, I believe knows something about the child, what the Imperials want for him. Yeah, I think that's the case. The other possibility is that he said he has lots of money, and it could be that Mando needs funds, and so he's going to free. Free the Mithril to get some money from him to go on his mission. But I think you're right, Lunga. I think that it's most likely because he has information about the child, why they're after him and all of that. I leave open the possibility they're doing it because they want the money that he has access to. And if they free him, they can use his funds. Mark, cameos from Nine Nub. Oh, that'd be great. Drew's reviews. Navarro, Mando has already left the planet. Karga and Gina still need to escape. Oh, good point. That very well could be. The question then is, the Mithril, is he still on Navarro? They haven't sent him to an Imperial camp, or is there an Imperial camp on Navarro? I can't rule out that scene where we saw the turrets, right? So did they take him to an Imperial camp? Is that where they maybe captured Cara Dune and Grief Karga, put them in the camp as well, and they end up maybe in the same cell block together with the Mithril? That's another possibility, and they're breaking free on Navarro from a camp on Navarro. I like the idea of that. Drew's reviews. Love the Karga Mando handshake. Reminds me of the Dutch Dillon handshake from Predator. Oh boy, that's great. Drew, maybe he tells Karga he's been pushing too many pencils. That's good. That's good. So I'm not exactly sure. I think there's a good argument for Sullust. I think that's most likely because of the Imperial camp part of it, right? We haven't seen on Navarro an Imperial camp, some sort of encampment or prison with these kind of embankments, the weapons. So it could be on Navarro. It's already part of the Mandalorian universe, right? It's already been established as a location. It would make sense that it be on Navarro. We just haven't seen this, and I think you absolutely nailed it, Drew. Thinking that Din Djarin, he's already left the planet, and now Karga and Gina escape. They end up with our Mithril kind of coming alongside. So good theories. I like it. I like it a lot. So those are the primary scenes that I saw when I was watching this again on really slow motion. There's our Mithril coming right in, scene there with Karga. We already saw this one in the preview, and there's the scene of Karga in the at the gun station. I think it's confirmed now that he is actually in this Imperial troop transport. That's where we we see him. And here comes that handshake you were talking about. Yeah, a little scene of the child. And no, Josh was looking to see, was that a lightsaber in there? I don't think so. There we go. So here he's definitely shooting a weapon, and he's, I think, definitely in that ITT. Here's the other shot that I had. You can see in the background, turn the subtitles off here. And you can see this volcanic explosion back here. There's fire in here. There's smoke coming up. You don't really notice it because your eyes are drawn up to the TIE fighters, but you can see that blowing up in the background. And then, of course, then saying, here we go. Josh said, well, who's he talking to? I think he's talking to himself, Josh. I think he's just saying, here we go. He's getting ready to jump off the edge, saying it to himself, and there he goes, flying off. So let's see. Mark, what did you say? Decent theory that Mando is breaking them out of the facility, but the other shot looks like Mando is rounding them up for the mission. It's tough on these kind of things because they put things so out of order. And I think you guys brought up a really good point earlier. Like if he needs to repair the Razor Crest, and he's where's he going to get the material to repair it? If he's on Hoth, for example, there's plenty of material there. We know from the abandoned Rebel base, he should be able to get plenty of material. If he's on Ilum, I'm not so sure. At this point in the timeline, we know there was a Jedi temple there. We know that there are definitely there's definitely a reason for Imperial types to be on Ilum, and that perhaps they've brought in some help with mining out the Kyber crystal, and that would all fit together. But you know, it's just hard to tell at this point. I'm not sure there would be lots of material there to repair the Razor Crest with. So Ilum may have a weaker argument there from that perspective. And so it'll be fun to see. You know, at the end of the day, I know a lot of folks are really upset about this whole trailer, that it left us short. Look, I was disappointed too. I was like, oh, not much there. Kind of anticlimactic at the end of the day. It's not much different than we got in the other teasers that came out in between, and they were like not heralded, right? They were just released. You saw them come out on Twitter. There was no build up for them. There was no promotion for them. Just all of a sudden on Twitter, there's this new, or on YouTube, there's this new teaser cut, and then we could break it down. And in this case, there was all the buildup. Disney Plus said, hey, come get your exclusive look at The Mandalorian during Monday Night Football. And I think that just led up to this great big expectation. And I had that as well. Oh, Dale, you were outside. Oh, no. Oh, my friend. We'll try to do a recap here for you. Drew. I think there'll be a bigger Imperial presence on Ilum. Yeah, because if they're already starting to mine it to make it into Starkiller Base, that's a good question. I don't know if that's, I just don't know where it is at that point. Mark, I think he's patching it up with whatever he's got on the ship. I like Kara's woohoo. I like that too. And the other thing, and then Josh brought it out this morning, the music in this teaser was great. Boy, they landed a fantastic composer. I absolutely love that guy, and his music is just it's robust. It's fantastic. Drew, I know I'm spelling these plants' names wrong. yeah, me too. Fortunately for me, I Googled them on Wikipedia first. So, yeah, Drew, we just talked about what is the snow planet. I think there are 3 possibilities for that. It's got to be Ilum. I think that's sort of the leading candidate right at this point. It could also be Hoth, and Hoth makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. And a lot of people are starting to vote for Hoth with their opinions. And then the other is this other planet where we get and I just forgot its name. Mark, you can help me out there, I'm sure. Where those lizard-like creatures, they mine for jewels and crystals and things like that. It could very well be that planet as well. I don't know. It's hard because it does mention that they have children by egg hatching, and we know there's that container with the eggs in it that's featured. It would make sense that it's on their home planet. That all of that makes sense. Sarkan, Sarka is the name of the planet. The Sarkians live there. Sarka is the third possibility. If it's Sarka, it makes a ton of sense. And the scene with the eggs and all of that fit together with them being Sarkans. And those are their children. And everybody keeps saying, what are these eggs? What are these eggs? We've covered it here many times. They're the children. They're the Sarkan children. They're carrying them around in the container on their back because they're egg-laying species. And their children are born of eggs. So it's their children. So that's the answer there. Timster, will Dr. Afra make an appearance? Wow. You're not the first person I've seen this from. Dr. Afra would be wonderful, a wildly popular character in the comic runs. Her comic run is very good. A great character. I don't know that we're at a point where Afra would fit into the story arc, though. Why? I just throw this out there to you. Why would she be brought in? Just by happenstance, or would there be a plot purpose for having her join, or we just want to get a popular character into the story? Let me know what you think. Mark, just saying, yep, the music's the best thing about it. It is a level up. It's epic. It's fantastic. Reefer Man Reviews. Hello. Hello. Very good. Let's see. Drew, I hope we get Karga heavy season, more involvement at least. Weathers is one of my favorites. I think Flair's got a bigger. Oh, you know what? His glove flares. His glove flares, fantastic. It does appear that Karga has a more prevalent role. The question I saw a lot of people ask is, what about Moff Gideon? Where's Moff Gideon? We saw him with the Darksaber at the end of season 1. We expect him to be the big bad in season 2. We expect everything leading up with the Mandalorians, with Bo-Katan, and maybe trying to get the Darksaber back from him. All of that makes sense. Where is he? We haven't had any good things from him, and we know as well that they broke several Darksaber models as they were doing the filming. So he went through those in battles. We're excited to see him, but we haven't had any exposure to him at all in these little previews. Reefer Man, yeah, Dr. Afra is awesome. I agree. Mark, I hope that Afra gets integrated to the Filoniverse at some point. Yeah, I think so too. Reefer Man. Well, she's somewhat of an archaeologist. She could lead to help finding Baby Yoda's people. I'm not buying what you're selling there, buddy. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not buying fully into it. I don't know. So anyhow, look, I thought it was a fun trailer. It was certainly underwhelming. I wanted those great big money shots as well. The things that you could put on big posters. Like they did those nice posters they released a couple weeks ago. I wanted a great big poster with even a silhouette of Ahsoka. Would have done it. If they had a scene where you just saw her from the back, a silhouette of her, people would have lost their minds. We didn't need a lot. We just needed one frame that had Ahsoka in there, and that would be fantastic. Mark, thank you for the lead up. This leads into the question. What if Campia's lie is that it's Gideon heavy? What if he's only in a couple of episodes again? Dude, I'm starting to think this might be the case. We already saw in Campia's tweet, many of the things have been proven to be true. The lie is narrowing down. We're stuck with just it's either the Sabine Wren not the actress not being Sabine Wren, or it's the Gideon Heavy. I think we're down to that. It's really getting close. Anthony, do you think they're going to reveal Sasha Banks' character? Who do you think is going to be? My honest opinion, Anthony, I don't think Sasha Banks is going to be Sabine Wren. I do not think that's the case. I think that she's going to be perhaps affiliated with, there was a comic run where Luke Skywalker went to a planet. He was put into a water bin that he ends up, they try to drown him in, and it's got a grate on the top of it, just like we saw in the trailer. And that water planet also had ships in it, very much like what we see in the trailer. And on that water planet, there's a Jedi master of sorts who gets Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, and she's the one that returns it back to him. Well, she has disciples there on that planet with her. There's a lot of it mirrored from that comic in that trailer, a lot. And I still believe that that's one of that Jedi master's disciples. I think that Sasha is playing one of her disciples. It mentions it being the species of magic people, right? The Jedi. And just as it shows Sasha's character, I think that she's going to be a disciple. I don't think she's Sabine Wren. I don't think she matches the character well enough. I don't think that she's going to continue on in a role. I think she's going to show up as a Jedi disciple. She's got the like Jedi robe-ish kind of thing. The other possibility, so that's my leading one. My honest opinion, I think she's a Jedi disciple of that Jedi master that found Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. I think that's my opinion. That's number one. Number two for me is that she's a night owl, and I've talked about this a lot. I think that Sabine and mostly Bo was known for the other Mandalorians that went with her that were the night owls. They also wore cloaks to kind of disguise themselves, and they kind of slipped in and out of places mysteriously. Very well could be a night owl. I think more likely a disciple of that Jedi. So let me go catch back up. And I see you've got a 2 of 2, Anthony. Let's go get that, because there's rumors that she might be playing a character from Star Wars Squadrons. Yeah, I'm not up on that character as much. I think that's a stretch. I don't think that's the case. I don't think she's for the character from the Squadrons. I think she's from the comic, one of the disciples of that Jedi. Again, again, it's my tinfoil hat theory that they're chasing after the footsteps of Luke Skywalker. And if that's where he found his lightsaber, there's a strong reason for him to be there. And the scenes in that comic are mirrored very closely in that trailer. I think that's what it is. Reefer, I don't think they'd do it either, but it was a nice idea how they could bring her in. I don't think they will, though. Yeah, Dr. Afra, right. Dale, Mark Hamill, Junas, Bing, Ashley, and maybe a few others talking about Force for Change, robotic stuff and inventions. More exciting to see them. Oh, more exciting to see them what they're talking about. Sure. Let's see. Let me go back up. Star Wars video drop. Reefer Man, Moff Gideon will show up in season 2 finale, and that's about it. That's your prediction. Yeah, I think he's going to show up. There's going to be this epic fight at some point between Ahsoka and Moff Gideon. That's for sure. Again, I don't have any insider information, but I just feel it, right? And we may have, at that point, Bo-Katan involved as well. Katie Sackhoff. We've heard precious little about Katie Sackhoff in this season, and I think that could be a huge surprise. I think the other could be a cameo from Mark Hamill. Callisto, hello. The new trailer caused me to go back to the first and second trailer last night. A couple of questions. At some point today, hit me up on Discord. Oh, good. I look forward to that. Let's see. I keep these keep jumping on me. Gideon could still steal the show with limited appearances, but it's felt throughout the season. Right. Look, it's a race, right? They're trying to get the child, and they're trying to protect the child, and Gideon's after the child. It's definitely the antagonist, right? 1 or 2 episodes in Darksaber, and it's not Gideon heavy. Yeah, I'm with you. Mark, who do you think plays Sabine? Oh, you know what? This is a great question, Anthony, because we don't have rumor of Sabine. We have rumor of the first thing that happened, and this is how this kind of came to fruition. We got rumors early that Sasha Banks had been cast, and then rumors that she had been seen in or around. And then people started speculating, well, who could she be? Sasha Banks. And they look at her personality, and they look at like her hair coloring and kind of her outlandish things she does, and they made the connection. Well, with the hair color and the this and the that and her fighting, she could be Sabine. That started the Sabine rumors. There wasn't rumors saying there's Sabine, and then the connection got made to Sasha. It was the other way around. We don't have confirmation Sabine's in at all. It's the same as the rumors of Ezra Bridger. We don't have any confirmation that Ezra Bridger or Sabine are in this series. Bo-Katan is the one that we have some information about, her connection to the Darksaber, but we haven't heard anything about Katie. So who is cast as Sabine? Maybe nobody. That's the answer. Maybe nobody. That they're waiting to announce the actress who's playing her until the episode. Again, she might be in the spinoff series. She might not even be in the Mandalorian. Park. Maybe Ahsoka is in episode 5 and the finale. Yeah, which would make that the lie that John Campy had. She could very well show up in from 5 on. She may be in several episodes after 5. And so his lie is that she's, the blink and miss her because she's only in 1 episode. She could absolutely be in several. Reaverman, addendum. Gideon could show up in the premiere as well. True. Yeah, because there's the immediate. This happens immediately after season 1. There was some speculation about the time jump. There is no time jump. It happens immediately. And then the question goes, well, what happened with Greek Karga's beard turning white all of a sudden? I think you just let it grow in, and it came in white. Moff will be a throne room character, handing out orders. A good device to show obsession with the dark side. Shakespeare with the skull, so to speak. Oh yeah, King. Oh, I can't remember. I just went blank. But yeah, I got you. And then saber it out with Mando at the end. I don't know he'll saber it with Mando. He's going to end up sabering it with Ahsoka and perhaps Sabine. Not Sabine, Bo-Katan. I just talked about how Sabine's probably not in it. Drew's reviews absolutely agree with you. Yeah. Let's see. Mark, if Kessel Run's transmission scoops aren't real, there might be no Sabine or Rebels cast except Ahsoka. Yep. That's what I think. Boba, Bo, Ahsoka, the trades talk about. Yeah. Boba and Slash, you've got the guy that has Boba's armor. I had it just a second ago. This slipped my mind. You're going to have him for sure as well. So, right. You're praying for the Ghost Crew. Oh, we all want to see the Ghost Crew, and I want to see that. I think it's going to spin off out of the animated search for Ezra Bridger, and then we're going to get the live action Ghost Crew after that. Anthony Santa, my prediction for who Sasha Banks be playing, she might be playing a Mandalorian. Yeah, a Mandalorian like a Night Owl, right? Like Cara Dune or Bo-Katan. Yeah. Yep. Mark, Imperial embargo meant Navarro ran out of Just for Men. Oh, the hair gel. Yeah. So Grief doesn't have the Just for Men to turn that beard back dark. He had to go natural and grow out white. Yeah, Cobb Vanth. Thanks, Mark. Drew, you guys have a great day. Got to get ready for work. Give Santa a like and share. Oh, thank you so much, Drew. I do appreciate a like on the video. If you're not subscribed, I appreciate those as well. Trying to grow the channel and just be another positive influence and talk about Star Wars. We love Star Wars, and it's just here to talk more about it. I really do appreciate it. And we're late for John Campia's show. He's talking about the trailer today as well. So I hope you all have enjoyed the time we spent together today. I had a great time. I know I can thank you for being here. I thank you so much for the support. I can't wait to hear Lunga talk about the jackhammer this afternoon. So look for the Great Council. And until we talk to you again, you guys have a fantastic, blessed day. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye.